Hello, I'm Margaret, and here's my 99-year-old worker's cottage. Brick and iron main house and weatherboard and other dodgy rear additions. It faces northwest with good sun access and is close to the Hobart city centre and the foothills of the mountains. Ah, Hobart. But it was life-threateningly cold when I moved in 28 years ago in the middle of winter. I had neither the money nor the desire to do a big reno project, but over time I've made a comfortable, welcoming home. First, I super insulated the roof and draft proofed, and over time enclosed the front veranda to make a sun space, capped the unused open fire chimney, and installed solar hot water and later 2 kilowatts of solar. I couldn't afford more at the time. And here's the sun space, which is my delight, the enclosed front veranda. The windows and doors came from a salvage yard. The floor is just the old veranda boards turned over. In the winter, it's a warm sanctuary, and I open the inner front door and a window to let warm air and light into the house. I can dry washing, germinate seeds, recharge my e-bike, watch the world, drink tea and read and chat with friends. And by the way, I really love my e-bike. I plan to be riding it right into my 80s. Inside the house, the pelmets were already there, so I fitted heavy floor-length curtains in the living room and front bedroom to keep heat in, and now sometimes to keep heat out. I also had secondary glazing installed to the cold southerly back windows of the kitchen and bathroom, but not a success as they don't fit really well. But at least I gave an impoverished, newly arrived handyman a job for a few days. The living room is heated with a wood stove on which I do some winter cooking and a heat pump when the fire is not lit. Much of the wood comes from the garden now as I do some heavy tree pruning. With all these improvements and a frugal but not stingy life, I'm $2,000 in credit with Aurora Energy. With the help initially of one-for-one feed-in tariff on my solar panels and the help of the pensioner rebate from the state government, I must admit, but I still reckon $2,000 in credit is pretty good. You'll see that my house is about half the electrical use of the average one-person household. Time of use metering really makes a difference because I can take advantage of it now that I'm sort of so-called retired. No grand designs makeover here. The kitchen and bathroom are part of the add-ons earlier in the life of the house, and I reckon the man of the house probably made the sink cupboard and put in the Formica splashback and the shelves to the right hand made of tongue and groove planks. And on the old pine table is some of this summer's produce from the garden, including part of the best hazelnut harvest I've ever had. There are pickles, dried herbs, bottled plums and tomatoes, blackcurrant jelly, boysenberry jam, plum sauce, and a freezer full of goodies. And in the garden, the 1930s DIY Hills hoist is still in use. It's a bit trapped by the fruit trees that have grown, but that doesn't matter because it never turned anyway. And there's the tip shop gate to keep the paddy melons out of the bean patch in the front garden to add to the tip shop vibe. And here's my garden. More important to me than the house, really, if I'm honest. And this is the March food foresty garden. A lot of work and a combination of joy and disappointment. Bit like life in general, really. All part of my aspiration to live as sustainably as I can and use whatever disposable income I have to support the causes I value and have my grandchildren come and visit. My little house garden and I are growing old together. Thank you.